Guys, I've been out on another very successful hunt. As you can see here, a lot of old coins. Starting off with pennies. George V penny, George VI penny, Elizabeth II threepenny bit, George VI penny, nice Edward VII halfpenny, George V penny, and attached to the back of it was a George VI halfpenny, and in the same hole the George VI threepenny bit, Edward VII penny, and in the same hole a 1942 George VI 50% silver florin, third silver of the year and 50th silver coin ever. George V penny, George V penny, George VI halfpenny, an unknown penny, George V or 6th, a cut George V penny, Elizabeth II, George V halfpenny and George VI halfpenny, and 5 copper modern new pences and two pences underneath, a Canadian dollar or loonie that's been cut at the top from the late 80s or early 90s, a pound coin and a halfpence. So I've shown you all the coins as I found them before I've washed them up. So I'll wash them up and I'll get back to you. Guys, as promised, I cleaned them up and here they are. The first coin you can see there is a George V penny, dated 1936, lovely condition. Then a 1940 George VI penny, a 1962 Queen Elizabeth threepence, a 1939 George VI penny. All these in really nice condition apart from the slight mottling. Then we get a very nice Edward. Worn, admittedly, but it hasn't got any edge chips like the normal ones do. So it's a perfect edged 1910 Edward VII halfpenny. Moving down, we get a 1920 penny, and as you can see on the reverse, it was stuck to this halfpenny of George VI, which is dated 1939. On the reverse, you can see, hopefully that will focus. Yep, you'll see there. Then in the same hole as these two was a third coin of that pocket spill, a 1942 threepence, in very nice condition as well. And then in a separate pocket spill I found this very nice Edward VII penny, again with very nice edges apart from that slight knock there, not caused by me. And the star find of the day, a beautiful George VI florin 2-shilling piece, dated 1942. It's 50% silver, but it was found in the same hole as not one, not two, not three, a 1920 penny in gorgeous condition, but 4 coins in the same hole, and a 1921 penny, all found together. Very nice. Then we have a very nice 1912 halfpenny, again with very good edges. Obviously hit part of the spot which has very nice soil to it. But there is the occasional one that comes up like this, another 1919. Then we get the characteristic one from the site, one that's been mauled by something. This one's been cut. It is dated 1920, has a lovely patina but it has been cut. Then we move on to the final old coins. So that is a 1967 penny, 1944 halfpenny, and another 1944 halfpenny, the last 2 coins of the day. Moving on to the modern, 2 copper 2 pences, 5 copper pennies, a copper halfpenny, that loonie I was talking about earlier, dated 1995, from Canada. Don't know what it's doing in England, but and a pound coin. Spend these. as Jed would say. There you are, a further 28 coins for a 2-hour hunt, 2.5-hour hunt, and a very nice silver coin as well to add to the collection. But that is my 50th silver coin ever, including the results from last year. But it's the 3rd silver coin of the year and the 50th one in total. It's a great start to the year. Let's see if we can get some more. As I was able to get out again, and as you can see here in front of you, there are 6 old coins. The first one is a George V penny, dated 1927, you can see there. Then very near it was this ship halfpenny, you can see there. I can't see the date yet, but I'm guessing it's George VI. Moving on, we have a crusty threepenny bit. I think the date you can see there is 1952, so it would be George VI, but I'm not entirely sure if it is 1952 or not. And I think the other one is also dated 1952, but I can't be entirely sure. So potentially 2 1952 George VI threepenny bits. Then we have a lovely specimen, perfect edges, George V, as you can see there, halfpenny, dated 1935 with perfect edges, so I'll try and preserve that when it's being cleaned up. And finally we have another mutilated George V penny, dated 1916, a real shame that was cut because it's perfect bronze, perfect edges, but you win some, you lose some. Now moving on to the modern coinage, I found cupra nickel 50p, spendable, 4 5p pieces, all the modern ones, post 1992, 2 copper 2p, both pre 1992. That was post 1990, rather. And then we have 8 intact copper pennies, a squashed copper penny, and a cut penny that doesn't match up with any other bits I've found. So it's another one that's been cut. 2 of the early decimal halfpennies and a cut halfpenny, early decimal. So I found 20 coins today. Let's see if I can get another hunt in, and I'll get back to you. I was able to get down again, and as you can see I got 5 old coins. First one is this Elizabeth the second penny, dating from the 1960s. Then for an Herts, and this 1936, nice looking George the Fifth penny. Then we have a George the Sixth. You can just make out the top of his head there, in that portion that's showing through. George the 6th penny, unknown date so far. Then a George the 6th threepenny bit. Again, the date is blocked, obscured at the moment by mud. And finally, we have a George the 5th penny. Again, the date is obscured, but I'll wash it up and I'll get back to you with the proper dates. But onto the clad coinage. Got a pound coin, 2 2-pences, both pre-1992, copper, 6 copper pennies, and bizarrely I was getting a signal like a copper penny, but this came out. That is a 2006 iron penny, and there was nothing else in the hole, but that came out. So I don't know quite what's going on, but that's an iron coin that was coming up as if it were copper. That was quite bizarre. And then finally, I got a pocket spill where 2 10 centime pieces from France, the 1980s ones. I found these before, were stuck together, and as you can see, they are of exact same size to pennies and thickness. So I thought they were pennies originally, but they are 10 centime pieces from France. You can see the 10 on the back, another date from the 80s I believe, but I'll wash them up and I'll get back to you with dates.